What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into my Week 13 NFL Power Rankings. Every game is now mattering, guys. A lot of these teams are out of the mix at this point. A lot of these teams trying to fight for playoff spots. This is where football gets its best in the National Football League. I really do love this time. We're going to see, who is really dead in a few weeks, because there's some teams that are hanging in there right now, but just not quite enough that are going to really need to string together some wins. But let's get into the power rankings list, starting with the worst team in football right now, the Houston Texans. Houston. I'm just not really going to talk about them too much this week. 1-9-1. They're just clearly the worst team in football. If you want to know more about the Houston Texans, go and check out my other videos. Nothing's changed on them. They just lost badly to the Dolphins again. So just not enough talent on this roster. Going to 31. We have the Carolina Panthers actually. I'm gonna make a fly move here. Number 31, we have the Los Angeles Rams dropping down 3 spots this week. I mean, the LA Rams, they're just not a good football team without Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, and that's been proven. They just don't have enough, and now Aaron Donald's expected to be out for some time. This team is the worst team in the NFC, in my opinion, without Cooper Kupp in there. It's just been bad for Los Angeles right now. It has been bad, and they deserve to fall down here. I just really don't really believe in this team if they don't have Cooper Kupp or Stafford. That was basically the whole offense. Defense has been very underwhelming this season. Just not a good season. It's been a disaster. They got a Super Bowl out of it, but that window for that Super Bowl run has shut, and it has shut hard on the LA Rams. But then 30, we have the Carolina Panthers going to be jumping up a spot this week. Yeah, Carolina, they got the job done this week against the Denver Broncos. Congratulations to Carolina. The offense, we've seen this where they just have random good quarterback performances, whether that's Walker or now it's Sam Darnold, just randomly have a good game for Darnold. Maybe Darnold can turn into a good quarterback in the National Football League like Geno Smith kind of has. I wouldn't have too much faith in that. But, yeah, this Carolina Panthers offense is good. The defense has enough playmakers to have a decent week, against a bad Broncos offense. That's what happens. The Panthers matched up well against the Broncos in that game. So I am going to put the Panthers at 30. A lot of people might say, why aren't they higher than the Broncos? We'll get to the Broncos in a minute, but I still don't really believe in this team. They're just too inconsistent. Going on to number 29, we have the Chicago Bears. Staying at the same spot, but dropping into this bad tier. Clearly without Justin Fields, this team has nothing going for them. Trevor Siemian had a bad game. Just the offense isn't good without Justin Fields in there. Justin Fields is able to move his legs. He's able to convert yards that way. Just really carry the team. But, yeah, you can't really put all your faith in Justin Fields, especially if he's out for a game. And that's what showed this week. The defense is very bad here. They'll have a few weeks where this is a defensive-minded coach. He'll come up with a good game plan. But the talent's clearly not there. But they'll find a way some weeks to do something. This was not one of them against the New York Jets. Let's go down here. We have 28, the Denver Broncos. I'm done with the Denver Broncos. Dropping them into the bad tier, down 2 spots. This has been a new low point for the Broncos, losing to the Carolina Panthers by that much. Russell Wilson, the trade has been a disaster for the Broncos ever since they've acquired him in that deal. Yeah, it's just unacceptable. Russell Wilson said in his press conference, it is unacceptable the way this offense is playing right now. It's not only him. There's been some drop passes. The O-line's bad. The play calling, not great. Even whether it's Nathaniel Hackett or the quarterback's coach, it's just not good in Denver. I don't really believe in this team to really turn things around right now. They just haven't proven it. But the defense is good enough to keep them in games. We saw this all year long. Yeah, at this point, it's just about can they salvage this for the future with Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson's got to prove he can do that in the last 6 games because this season is done for the Broncos. Let's go into the decent tier now. Just wrapped up with the bad tier. Started up at number 27. We have the Atlanta Falcons dropping down 3 spots this week. Not a bad loss by any means to the the 49, to the Commanders. You know, they battled in this one, but clearly the offense just lacks talent here. They'll have bad weeks at times. Just Arthur Smith trying to get the most out of this team, but it's just clearly came back on them that this has been a lack of talent from the beginning for the Falcons. They are still a half a game back on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so they could find themselves in the playoffs, which would be a gift to the 5 seed. Man, this is just not a playoff team. If they make the playoffs somehow, that would be crazy. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, though. We'll see. Just not a lot of talent on this roster overall. Going on to number 26, we have the Indianapolis Colts. Frustrating loss this week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're starting to see these O-line problems come back up for the Colts. Jeff Saturday was able to get the most out of this unit the past 2 weeks, but now going up against TJ Watt and this team, they started to struggle a little bit against the Steelers, and we saw it on Monday night. But the Colts, Jeff Saturday has done a good enough job. I just don't know, man. The Colts they're not a very good football team. Talent-wise, Matt Ryan, not your quarterback of the future at all. The defense isn't great. So that's where the Colts are going to find themselves at 26, dropping down a spot. Let's go to 25. We have the New Orleans Saints jumping up 3 spots this week. Don't really put any stock into that. The Saints I just don't really believe in the Saints. I'm not sure if that's right. I do believe they're actually dropping down 3 spots. That's my bad. Yeah, the Saints are dropping down 3 spots this week. I just don't really believe in what what Carson Palmer can do. He's just, what am I thinking? Andy Dalton, sorry. I just don't know. Andy Dalton's just too inconsistent for this offense. They score nothing. It is against one of the best defenses in the league, so that makes sense. But it's just not very good in New Orleans right now. And it's got to come back to this offense. This defense isn't fun to watch. We're going to see if they can get better here. It's just too inconsistent. They're only a game and a half back on the Bucs. Or, I don't know. They have a game against them this week. So maybe they can pull off an upset, but I don't really believe in this team. Let's go to 24. We have the Cleveland Browns. This team will be jumping up 3 spots this week. Big win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The defense finally steps it up a little bit against a bad Bucs offense in the game. The defense has been very underwhelming this season. They're going to get back to Deshaun Watson in a couple weeks, so they have a bye, I think, or next week. So we're going to see how Deshaun Watson looks. That they could get a massive boost if he looks solid. We'll see. But right now, I still don't believe in the Browns to really make a playoff push. It's just a little bit too late. We'll see if Deshaun Watson can do it. But let's go to number 23. We have the Arizona Cardinals dropping down 2 spots. Just had this one. They needed to win this game in order to keep their season alive, but now it's looking dead for the Cardinals at 4-8. Just couldn't finish off against the Chargers. The Chargers went for 2 in that one to finish out the game and got it. And Kyler Murray's trying to carry this team. It's just not good enough, though. It's not good enough for the Cardinals. And DeAndre Hopkins, it's just not good enough. Cliff Kingsbury has got to go, I think. This really just proves it. This organization isn't great at making decisions, so I don't even know if he's going to get fired. The defense is too soft. It's just a soft football team, I'm going to be honest with you. And they're just not very good, honestly. But the Arizona Cardinals, they find ways to stay in games. They just can't finish them. That's been the Cardinals' problem all season long. Going to number 22, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going to be dropping down 2 spots just because of 2 other teams I'm more impressed with winning this week. But at 4-7, yeah, Pittsburgh got the job done against the Indianapolis Colts. Congratulations there. But still, Kenny Pickett, he's been solid, honestly. He's been solid for them. Just an above-average quarterback right now in the league, and he's playing decent. He's getting them going. I can't really see a Mike Tomlin team just being dead, and we saw it here. He's going to find ways to win at times, no matter how bad this offense may be. This defense starting to step it up the past couple of weeks after that, or the last week after that Bengals game. So good job for the Steelers getting the job done on Monday night. We're going to see how they move forward. Dropping down 2 spots, just don't really take too much stock into that. Going on to 21, we have the Las Vegas Raiders jumping up 9 spots. A huge win for LA, getting a big win over the Seahawks. A rough loss for my Seattle Seahawks, but we'll get to them in a minute. But the Raiders, big time performance for them. Josh Jacobs, a heck of a running back. He exploded in this game. Wow, what a win for the Raiders. They got Devontae Adams. They got Derek Carr. We're starting to see the talent come. The Raiders, that little meme with the skeleton coming out of the tombstone. That's the Raiders right now. They're staying alive right now at 4-7. Maybe they have hope. The offense is still surging. The defense I still don't trust. They were able to stop the run against the Seahawks a lot. The secondary's not good, though. They got shredded in that game. But still, the Raiders, big time win. The offense fired on all cylinders, and they got the job done. Going to number 20, we have the Green Bay Packers dropping down a spot. The Packers are sitting at 4-8 right now. Jordan Love does come in that game. He looks like a good quarterback. I am not entirely sure what's happening with Aaron Rodgers and Love right now. Is Rodgers out for the season with that rib injury? I don't know. I mean, the Packers don't really have anything else to play for right now unless they win all of their games and slide into the playoffs. It's just, their season's done. The offense been very much better as of late, but the defense, Joe Barry, just a horrible defensive coordinator. I don't know why he's not fired at this point. What else do you have to see from him? He's just a bad defensive coordinator, and he's costing the Packers games. If the Packers went into this season with a good defensive coordinator and used their talents, because they have top tier talent, they should be a top defense. This defense could be This defense could be very good, and this team could be much better right now, at least in the standings. It's just not the case, though. And Barry's got to go at this point. There's just no reason to keep him around. I don't really see it. He was just not a very good hire anyway coming into the season. So we'll see what happens with Green Bay, with Jordan Love and Rodgers. But it's just not very fun to talk about the Packers right now. Let's go to number 19. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars jumping up 4 spots. Can't even find them. There they are. Big time win for the Jaguars against the Baltimore Ravens. Now Trevor Lawrence, he is starting to get a groove. He's looking like that solid quarterback that we have seen. And the Jaguars have been close in a lot of games, just couldn't finish it. This time they finished it. They went for 2, got it, beat the Ravens. Justin Tucker nearly crushed the Jaguars' soul if he made that 67-yard kick, but he missed it. So big time win for the Jaguars. The defense, still don't trust them, but this offense under Doug Peterson, it's not a bad unit here. And they're proving that they can sneak up and beat a team like the Baltimore Ravens. So good win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're going to jump up 4 spots because of it. But let's go to number 18. We have the Detroit Lions staying at the same spot. Big win for Detroit over the I mean, not big win, but big close game. Nearly got the win over the Buffalo Bills. Just couldn't finish it off. That's gotta hurt for Lions fans right now. I mean, this Lions team's a good football team. I'm gonna be honest here. This Lions team is playing good football right now. The defense has played much better since the beginning of the year. Jared Goff played good in that game against the Bills. They got talent on the offense side of the ball. Campbell is a good head coach. And the Lions are finding ways to sneak up on some teams, nearly beat one of the best teams in the league. Wow, that would have been an upset, but the Lions just can't find ways to win on their Thanksgiving game over the past few years, which is rough for Lions fans. But I'm feeling optimistic about the Detroit Lions for the future here. We're going to see. We're going to see if they can, get some talent this offseason. They have like a top 3 pick right now with the Rams down there. So we'll see with Detroit. But going on to the in the hunt tier now, that long, decent tier is done. Not as long as last week because of the Broncos, the Bears, and the Rams dropping down, but still pretty darn long. Going on to number 17, we have the New York Giants dropping down 2 spots. Okay, so the Giants, their magic is starting to fall off a cliff right now. Yeah, the Giants at 7-4, they're just... I just don't really believe in the Giants, now. Saquon Barkley hasn't played as good as he has in the first half of the season. Daniel Jones had a good first half, but he's still Daniel Jones. He's not a very good quarterback. He's good in some aspects of the game. Dable is coaching this team as much as possible, but the teams are starting to figure him out with the Cowboys this week, with the Lions a couple weeks ago. Yeah, the Giants just haven't played great the past few weeks, and they got to be better if they want to slide into the playoffs right now. Their schedule gets very tough. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs at this point, to be honest with you guys. We'll see. But the Giants, rough loss to the Lions. They could slide down these power rankings really fast if they look bad again next week. Just lack of talent catching up to them. Let's go to 16. We have the Washington Commanders jumping up a spot into the playoff tier. Just finding ways to win. They beat a bad Falcons team again this week. Taylor Heineke, say what you will about him. He finds ways to win. He's a mediocre quarterback. He's going to make some plays, but he's also going to throw away bad balls and, not play great sometimes. But it's enough to win, and the defense has very much stepped it up. That's been big for Ron Rivera's squad. Let me check something. I'm not sure when Chase Young is coming back. He is likely to return next week. A big boost for this defense if Chase Young can get back in there next week. Big time for the Commanders. But yeah, just got the job done this week against a bad Falcons team. Let's go to number 15. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers dropping down 3 spots this week. Yeah, the Buccaneers, they're getting back to bad football, I thought the Buccaneers were trying to figure some things out against Seattle, but it's just been proven that the Seahawks, D-line is just not very good right now. So that was probably a big part of it. The Buccaneers defense, they played pretty decent against the Browns offense, but just not enough. This offense just can't find ways to run the ball. Tom Brady's been forced to carry this team. It's just not a very good football team right now. And at 5-6, who knows? Maybe even the Falcons win this division when all is said and done. I do think that they're going to have enough to win it, but we'll see. The Bucs haven't played great this season, but they do have Tom Brady. You can never count out Tom Brady, really at all. Going on to number 14, we have the New England Patriots. Where are they? Jumping up 2 spots. I'm feeling more confident about the Patriots after a loss to the Vikings. I'm going to be honest. I know a loss hurts. They got a lot of unlucky breaks in that game against Minnesota. But Mac Jones, after a rough game against the Jets, he looks good against the Vikings defense. A lot better this week. Mac Jones played much better, and the Patriots have been able to find a way to stay competitive in all their games. And they're 6-5 right now. It's tough to get in the playoffs in this AFC, but I do think that they can make it. And this defense, they didn't play great against the Vikings, but we know that Bill Belichick's going to get the squad ready for the next game. So we're going to see if the Patriots are a legit team right now. Potentially they are. Let's go to number 13. We have the LA Chargers staying at the same spot, but are going to drop out of the playoff tier. Yeah, the Chargers, they're just very inconsistent team. It's very hard to know what to do with the Chargers because Justin Herbert's such a good quarterback for Los Angeles. The defense, not good. I'm going to be honest with you. The defense is not good. This is Justin Jefferson, and this is Justin Herbert and his weapons. This is the Justin Herbert show in Los Angeles, and sometimes that'll work for you, sometimes that won't. And I'm not sure if this team's gonna have enough to make the playoffs right now in a tough AFC. We're gonna have to see by the end of the year. Let's go to number 12, though. We have the New York Jets jumping up 2 spots here at 7-4. White comes in for the Jets. He looks solid enough, better than Zach Wilson has been playing, but it is against a Bears defense, so don't take too much stock in that. The Bears defense sucks. Garrett Wilson was playing very good. We're going to have to see what Mike White looks like if he's starting in their next game, because you can't overreact to a bad Bears defense. Zach Wilson was going up against a very good Patriots defense last week, so that was a surprising thing for me to see Zach Wilson getting benched. Who knows what happens in this game if he's in there. But yeah, the Jets got a big win. This defense is elite. This team is a good football team. Going on to number 11, though, we have the Seattle Seahawks staying at the same spot. Very frustrating loss for Seattle, a game that they really needed to win. They're actually going to be dropping out of the contender tier, but they are staying at the same ranking. It's just rough. I mean, the D-line has started to, show the worries that they did earlier this year. Just a squishy unit up front, They were playing very good for one stretch, but now the problems are getting there. I do think Pete Carroll can figure out a way to change this defense up and play better. This team, if Jamal Adams was still in there, I think this defense would be much better, and they probably win at least 2 of these games that they've lost this season. Seattle's been very close on a lot of these games. Geno Smith is an elite quarterback, though. He's legit. Right now, he's playing good. He did make a few mistakes in that game, but that's fine. But rough loss for Seattle. That one was tough to swallow as a Seahawks fan. But I do really still believe in the Seahawks. This team, this offense is pretty good. Kenneth Walker, they need to get him more established on the run game here because he did not have a good game against the Raiders. All right, let's go to the contender tier now. Starting with number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens dropping down 2 spots. Rough loss against the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. But yeah, that's going to happen with the Ravens. The offense is very inconsistent, but when it's good, it is very good. Lamar Jackson, very inconsistent quarterback. When he's good, he is very good, and that's really what the Ravens are doing here. The defense took a step back this week against the Jaguars, struggled a little bit. It's not that bad of a loss for the Ravens. This team, I still really think, my opinion doesn't really change on the Ravens right now. They're going to be dropping down 2 spots, though, because of a rough loss. Let's go to number 9. We have the Tennessee Titans, a frustrating loss to the Bengals. Wanted their revenge after that AFC divisional game where they lost as the 1 seed. Yeah, but the Titans offense, this team just loves to make chunk plays, get it out. Ryan Tannehill's not a bad quarterback for this team, and they're going to be able to find ways to win that way. The defense is very good. They proved it again against a very good Bengals offense. I'm just not sure if that's enough for them to send them to a Super Bowl. I mean, they're at the bottom of this contender tier. I do think they can. It's just rough, though. This NFL is tough to win a Super Bowl. But going on to number 8, we have the Minnesota Vikings jumping up 2 spots. 9-2, got the big win over the Patriots. And now Kirk Cousins and the offense finally got back to what they were doing. It seemed like last week was a fluke because they played a good Patriots defense. They were able to move the ball efficiently today in the last game. Kirk Cousins looked solid, and the Vikings played well. The defense still has some worries. They let Mac Jones throw really all over them in the run game for the Patriots worked. So that was rough, but the Vikings, good win this week for them on Thanksgiving. Let's go to number 7, though. We have the San Francisco 49ers dropping down a spot at 7-4. The Niners, got the win this week against the Saints. This defense is elite. Let's just start out with that. What a win. Shut out the Saints. They're starting to get healthy, and this team is scary for the defense. It might be the best defense in the league. But the offense is very inconsistent. I'm going to be honest with you. They looked very good against the Cardinals this week. They don't look very good. Jimmy Garoppolo, just an average quarterback. Christian McCaffrey, he's really this offense and with Deebo Samuel. So I don't really trust this Niners offense. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But they got the job done against the Saints. This defense is very, very good, and it's going to be rough to play against no matter how good your offense is. Going on to number 6, though, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to be jumping up 3 spots. The Bengals got a big win over the Tennessee Titans last game. Joe Burrow has looked very good in the month of November. Right now, he's playing very good football for the Bengals, but it's just not enough. The Bengals, very good offense. The defense is average. It's fine, but I really do like this Bengals offense. It can be very explosive, and the Bengals have figured themselves out after a rough start to this season. Let's go to number 5. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking care of business this week against the New York Giants. They're going to be staying at the same spot. Yeah, the Cowboys, in my opinion, doesn't really change in them. They just have a very, very good defense. They looked very good against the Vikings, looked very good this week against the Giants. The offense, Dak Prescott being able to move the football efficiently. Cowboys, good win. Going on to number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles staying at the same spot right here. Eagles at 10-1. I was debating moving them over the next team. I'm just going to throw them up there, the Miami Dolphins. It was rough. I was debating putting them above them. But right now, the Eagles, their defense hasn't been as good as of late. Against the Packers, the Packers have moved the ball efficiently. This run defense hasn't been great. We saw a couple weeks ago against Jonathan Taylor, and the Packers were able to move the ball efficiently. And that's why I think the Dolphins are a little bit of a better team. I don't trust the defense more for the Dolphins, but I do trust this Dolphins offense. Jalen Hurts has been very, very good. Don't get me wrong. Tua has been very, very good, though, too. And honestly, I'm leaning towards Tua right now over Hurts. It's very tight. You can go either which way. I do think that Tua is a better quarterback right now, and they do have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But A.J. Brown, excellent weapon for the Eagles. This isn't dogging on the Eagles or anything. They're the best team in the NFC right now. Very good team. I'm a believer in this Dolphins team right now, handling their business against the Texans this week. So it's tight, though. We're going to see who has that win by the end of the year. And then the top 2 teams it's been the top 2 teams all year, but finally the Buffalo Bills are not going to be your number 1 team this week. The Kansas City Chiefs have that. The Bills drop down to 2. The Chiefs jump up to number 1. Just the reason the Bills nearly lost to the Lions. I'm going to really treat that as an almost loss because they needed to go straight down the field to win that one. The defense has gotten banged up over the past few weeks. They're starting to get some injuries. They're piling up on that side of the ball. So that's really a big thing here. And ultimately, Patrick Mahomes has been the better quarterback, ever than Josh Allen has been over the past few over this month, ever since that game that they played. But Josh Allen, still an excellent quarterback. He's still very, very, very good. Patrick Mahomes, though, I just think he's a little bit better. The Chiefs just handled their business against the Rams this week. The defense has been playing solid, and then Patrick Mahomes is just carrying this Chiefs offense. And right now, I do think that if this rematch happened between the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, I would pick the Kansas City Chiefs. But I still really do believe in this Bills team. It is close between those two. All right, anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your power rankings. And anyway, peace.